Stop what you're doing. Everything you know about the Minotaur is wrong. It wasn't a monster, it was a cover-up. The legend is simple, carved into the stone of history. A monstrous beast, half man, half bull, locked away in an inescapable labyrinth by his own father, King Minos of Crete. A creature so vile it demanded a tribute of human flesh. A hero named Theseus arrives, slays the beast, and saves the day. But the official story is a lie. It's a masterclass in political propaganda, designed to hide a truth so shameful it could shatter a kingdom. The creature in the labyrinth wasn't born a monster, he was a prince. His name was Asterion. And this isn't the story of his monstrosity, it's the story of his murder. Stay with me, because by the end of this, you'll see that the most dangerous myths are the ones we believe are true. To unravel this conspiracy, we have to go back to the beginning. Not to a monster's birth, but to a king's hubris. Exhibit 1, the divine betrayal. King Minos of Crete was a man of immense power, but he made a fatal mistake. He prayed to the god Poseidon for a divine bull to sacrifice. But Minos, arrogant and greedy, kept it for himself. The gods do not forgive such insults. The official myth says Poseidon cursed Minos' wife. But this is a classic case of victim blaming. What the files don't tell you is that this was a targeted attack on the king's bloodline. A curse to create an heir so monstrous it would delegitimize his entire dynasty. The child, Asterion, was born, not a beast but a boy bearing the terrible marks of a divine curse. Which brings us to Exhibit 2, the royal prison, the Labyrinth. The myth portrays it as a dungeon, a place of filth and bones. The truth is far more complex. It was designed by the greatest architect of the age, Daedalus. Why use your top mind to build a simple cage? Because it wasn't a cage, it was a gilded prison. An elaborate, sprawling, impossible nursery designed not just to contain the prince but to hide him from the world, to erase him from the royal record while keeping him alive. A monument to a king's shame, but a hidden prince is still a political problem. Exhibit 3, the bloody tribute. Minos' rival kingdom was Athens. After a war, he demanded a tribute, 7 youths and 7 maidens sent every 9 years. The story says they were food for the Minotaur. A horrifying detail. But it was never about food, it was political theater, a brutal tax designed to humiliate Athens, forcing them to acknowledge a monster they couldn't defeat. It was a constant, terrifying reminder of Crete's power and the consequences of defiance. Minos weaponized his own son. For years, this was the status quo. A hidden prince, a terrifying tribute, a kingdom built on a lie. And then, a young man from Athens volunteers to be part of the tribute, Theseus, the hero. But he wasn't there to save anyone, he wasn't there to save anyone. Theseus was not a hero, he was an assassin. Think about it. Athens is being bled dry by this tribute. They don't need a hero, they need a solution. They send the king's own son, a trained killer, on a covert mission. His target wasn't a monster, his target was the heir to the Cretan throne. The deformed, hidden prince whose existence was a blight on Minos and a political weapon against Athens. The mission was simple: infiltrate the labyrinth, eliminate the target, and end the tribute for good. This was a state-sponsored assassination disguised as a heroic quest. Theseus, aided by Minos' own daughter Ariadne, finds his way through the impossible maze. He finds his way through the impossible maze. He finds the monster. And he kills him. But what did he really find in the heart of that darkness? A slavering beast? Or a terrified, isolated young man? A boy who perhaps fought back, not from malice, but from the terror of seeing another human for the first time. And this leads us to the final, most disturbing secret: the labyrinth itself. The labyrinth wasn't just a prison to keep the prince in, it was a psychological weapon designed to make him a monster. Imagine a child, raised in total isolation. No love, no language, no sunlight, just endless, confusing corridors, echoes, and darkness. The architecture was designed to destroy the mind, to fragment the personality, to induce a feral state through sensory deprivation and perpetual confusion. Beat. Minos and Daedalus didn't just cage a boy, they systematically broke him. Theseus returns to Athens a hero. Minos' shame is finally dead and buried. The propaganda machine takes over and history is written. The story of a tragic, murdered prince is twisted into the legend of a slain monster. The perfect crime. A secret kept for 3,000 years. A lie that we are still told to this day. History is filled with monsters used to explain away inconvenient truths. Medusa, the Gorgons, Scylla, were they all just propaganda? The official story is never the whole story. It's up to us to find what they buried. What other myths do you think are lies? The files on Prince Asterion end there, erased. But history is filled with monsters used to explain away inconvenient truths. The official story is never the whole story. It's up to us to find what they buried. What other myths do you think are lies? Share your findings below. The official story is never the whole story.